Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know that I have not posted in 2 weeks, and so that is what this video is kind of gonna be about. And I feel like I haven't posted much adoption things on here. I am on Instagram and TikTok, and I share a lot of adoption things on my TikTok, and I'm kind of trying to, as I move forward, like posting the same content on Instagram and TikTok. But if you guys don't follow me there, go and make sure you do that so you can kind of stay up to date. I'm on my Instagram stories like all day, every day. And yeah, so I want to post more, obviously, on my YouTube. And I have so many adoption videos that I can make. And so like maybe this is the beginning of, you know, this revamp of my channel and like wanting to post more consistently, whatever. If you're new here, maybe the elephant in the room, I am an adopted child. I was born in Moscow, Russia, and I was born in 1995 in July, and then I was in the orphanage in August of that year, and then I was in the orphanage until like October of 1996 when I was adopted and came to America. And I've always been an open book about being an adoptee and my experiences. I've always wanted to share my story because I'm proud of where I come from, and I am proud of my story, even though it's not the easiest life to live. And I've always wanted to help people. And I just recently found my Russian birth family this past June/July, like the end of June, early July, after 9 years of looking for them. And I think that's also part of why I'm struggling a little bit. There's a lot of things going on, but I think I haven't really processed that because that's a huge life change. Like that is a huge deal. And I talk to my sisters every day, really, in some form, whether it's through social media or texting or whatever. Not all of them, but I talk to like 3 out of 5. And I haven't been able to speak with my mother, but all of that to say, I figured since I haven't uploaded, we're kind of gonna touch on that, and we can just have kind of like an honest and open Q&A chit chat things today about like adoption and just like life in general. And I actually just had a really good conversation. I just actually got off of my therapy appointment, and we were kind of touching on this because I was telling her, like, I feel like I just haven't really processed maybe finding my family, but a lot of the things that I struggle with day to day, I think are, some of it is like self-inflicted. Like I make myself feel guilty for things, or I beat myself up about things, you know, whatever. But I think on the other hand, like a lot of things are sort of inherently in me, whether it's from being abandoned by my mom or being in an orphanage or just being different than everybody else in my family and in my life. And so yeah, I figured, well, let's just chit chat. I am an open book. I had a conversation recently, and I actually just made a video the other day on my TikTok and my Instagram, and I was answering this question, and it was like, so many people ask me, even recently, as of like a week or 2 weeks ago, why do you share your story? Why do you share adoption things in general? Why do you share your adoption story? Like why? Like what are you gonna get out of it? What is your goal? Are you getting anything out of it? Like, what is your end goal? Like, what is the reason? And while that question is kind of rude, and I did take that as a little bit of an offensive question, and I don't think people mean to be offensive about it, but I share it basically because it's important. Adoptees' voices are often very, very silenced and diminished and just blatantly ignored. Same with birth mothers, and I want to change that narrative. I want to, at least for me and the other adoptees that I talk to and have the honor of knowing and having these relationships, I want to be a voice for myself, also for those that don't feel like they have a voice, or they're not ready to have one, or they have one and their family just doesn't want to listen, or their friends and family just don't react well to that. And so I just want to be that open and honest resource for adoptive parents, birth families, prospective adoptive parents, and other adoptees. I want to at least be one person that they can watch and be like, okay, I'm not alone. Or maybe they need a different viewpoint from a parent's perspective. Like, why is my child feeling this way, blah, blah, blah. So I just kind of want to be the person that can kind of like open up these conversations, and I'm not afraid to have the hard conversations. And while I share a lot, like I said, I want to share more on here. I share a lot on my TikTok. I share a lot on my Instagram, but mostly on my TikTok about adoption things anyways. But I also don't share really anything. I've been having a very, very, very hard time the last few weeks, and I don't think anyone really has noticed. And I haven't really said anything about it because it's just one of those things where I'm like trying to kind of figure it out on my own. And part of being an adoptee, not that your friends or family won't understand or like won't attempt to understand or whatever, but it's kind of hard to have conversations when you're not even sure, you know, why you feel this way or how to like articulate it. So that's why I haven't uploaded. I wanted to upload last week. The week before I was not in a good headspace. I've been really struggling mentally for a lot of reasons. But I think, you know, I'm dealing with a situation with my family right now, with some of my family members. It's really hard on me. Part of it has to do with the way I'm being made to feel as an adoptee and also a family member. And kind of that, like, I'm just being dismissed, disregarded, not listened to. They don't even want to attempt to have any respect for me. And so it's been really hard and really the first time in my life where I'm experiencing this from my own family members. And so that has been eating away at me every day. My sisters being an entire ocean away from me. I'm gonna try not to get emotional in this video as well. That eats away at me more and more every day. I talked to my one younger sister. She's 5 years younger than me, and we're definitely the closest, I think, so far. We talk more than any, you know, of the other sisters, I think. At least like me and her, I mean. I don't know how much they talk to each other. But her and I talk every day. She's so beautiful, and she sends me messages about how much she loves me and how much she can't wait to see me and how she wishes I was there. She just got married, and I'm hopefully getting married in the next 2 years, and I want nothing more than to see my sisters, and especially being the older sister. I've never been the older sibling. I have one older sister. That's my half sister or whatever, like my Russian sister, and then I have my sister, you know, my adopted sister. So I technically have 2 older sisters now, but I also have 5 younger sisters, which I've never, well, yeah, 5 younger sisters and, or 4 and 1 younger brother. And I've never been the older sibling. I don't know how to navigate it. I don't know. That's why I'm always asking my older sister, Sarah. I'm like, is this how you feel? Like, I'm so protective of them. I love them so much. Even from the second I just knew what they looked like. It was just something, you know, you automatically love them with everything in your being. And so I'm having a very hard time hearing all of that from her, and how much they love me and how much they want to see me, and I can't go. I mean, I could probably, but with everything that's going on in the world, it's just not safe for anybody from the United States to go there. And while I am Russian and I can reconfirm my citizenship and have dual citizenship, I haven't decided if that's something that I want to do. And also, just because I could probably come and go maybe safely, I don't want to go by myself. I want to take Mark, and I want to take my sister and my parents, and they all have regular, you know, they are US, you know, they have their US passports, and I don't want to put anybody in danger. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, scared, whatever. I'm already going to be kind of on edge, because I just truly still feel like I understand, but I also don't understand the realities of how our countries interact, how they feel about each other, how, you know, in the back of my mind, like, if I go there, like, are they gonna make me or want to make me stay because I was born there, and they'll see that on my passport? Like, I don't know. It's all these unknowns that it's already scary, but at the same time, like, I have a very hard time lately because I just want to be there more than anything. Over the weekend, Mark and I were watching videos of just like drone footage over Moscow and like people walking through Moscow, and just like trying to visualize what it would be like if we do go, and we will. It's not a matter of if, it's as soon as it's safe for us to go, and as soon as I know there's talks starting right now between our countries and things like that. Like, I hope that goes well, because as soon as it's clear and it's safe, I am booking my plane ticket and I'm going for like a month, and I can't wait for that day, and I hope that comes sooner rather than later. But it eats away at me every single day, and I have a very hard time with that. And all I want to do is be there for my sisters. Anywho, so yeah, I think at the beginning of the year, with it being so cold and like you're kind of excited for the new year, but I think a lot of people kind of have this like seasonal depression, and it's not even that. I have depression like all year round. But I think because it's like a much slower pace, I'm not as busy with photo things. Well, I say that now. Some weeks are busier than others. I just have more time to kind of reflect and to think about all these things. And I feel like I should be doing more with my life. You know, in work, in my personal life, in like the dreams that I have for myself and for Mark, and I just kind of like, you just send yourself on a spiral. So that's where I've been. I've just been spiraling. I've obviously had some good days. Valentine's Day was just a couple days ago, and Mark and I we didn't really, like, we spent the day together, but we didn't, you know, look nice and like do, you know, a fancy dinner or anything. We just kind of had it chill this year because it's been a hard year for both of us. Like the last like 7 months, his work schedule was crazy. We've been under an enormous amount of stress with that, with my job, with having 3 dogs, and 2 dogs can't even be in the same room. Like we have gates up, like our life is very stressful. And then he was kind of like listing off all the things that we've had to deal with since like last March. And I was like, I think I understand why we're in this phase, like why we're both kind of struggling a little bit, me more than him. But I feel like we're slowly kind of coming out of that. He's got a new job, and we're just trying to navigate like, okay, what now that we're kind of starting fresh, like that we're starting a new chapter, if you will, like with him getting this new job, what is life going to look like for us? You know, what do we want to do? How are we going to work towards whatever goals that we have, etc., etc. And I just like I said, I just wanted to pop on, and I will get back to Monday postings. And I don't want to say Mondays because I could upload Wednesdays or whatever, but I want to make sure that at least every Monday I have a video up. And if that changes to a Wednesday or a Thursday in the future, that's fine. But moving on, I would like to have like my Monday uploads, you know, official. And every week I don't miss any, but some weeks you're gonna miss some. And I meant to make like a little post that you can do like on YouTube and just say like, hey, no video this week, blah, 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 but it's fine. So yeah, I don't know really what else to chit chat about. Today we talked a lot about, like in my therapy session, we talked a lot about like boundaries and kind of the difference between like people pleasing and just being a loyal, kind, loving person. And how to kind of navigate that. And like I said, I think at the beginning of this video, like I think some things in my life are just kind of inherently there because of my story and where I come from and my experience. And there's a really good book, which I'll make a whole other video on. It's called The Primal Wound, and I recommend that book to like adoptees and especially adoptive parents, because it really does touch on the trauma side of adoption, and it kind of explains what I just said. Like some things are just inherently in us that we might not even realize, and they're gonna show up our whole lives in a million different ways. The trauma, the whatever, and like your brain remembers things that you don't, if that makes sense. Like I don't remember it cognitively. Like I don't remember my mom leaving me, you know, abandoning me. I don't remember being in the orphanage, you know, which is probably for the best because a lot of the adoptees I talk to, there's so many adoptees that have awful experiences, which is why I want to share my story and why I want to be more vocal about it. And I want to, moving forward, I do want to be honest. I do want to talk about, you know, like this shit's hard. It's not easy. And I just like, sorry, I'm just going to adjust you a little bit. I just want to be like a resource for you guys. And I don't want to, and I was telling my therapist this morning, like I feel like I still to this day kind of hide parts of myself, and I hide my experience from my friends and my family because I don't want to upset them or, like bother them with it, you know, if that makes sense. And I told her, I was like, and I think part of that is because of these things that are just in my brain and in my heart, like that I just don't even realize, like from the trauma or just like, you know, being an adoptee. Like there's a lot of stuff that people don't take into account. Like they don't realize that we struggle with, you know, these things. But I do. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I've been having a very, very hard time mentally. And just moving forward, like I said, I just want to post more regular videos, obviously, but also I want to post more adoption things, and I don't want to be afraid of sharing my life. I mean, I've already said so much online that it's like, whatever. If people find it, okay. Like, I've never really been afraid to share my story and be honest about it. At the same time, I've never been fully honest, if that makes sense. Because like I said, I want to protect people. Everyone has their own experiences. But at the same time, I'm entitled to share mine in the way that I want. And if that upsets people, then, you know, that is what it is. But everyone's entitled to, you know, their own life, their own story, sharing their own life in the way that they want. And this is almost kind of a way of me to like process everything and like get, you know, things out. And so yeah, that's kind of where I've been the last couple weeks. And like I said, we're kind of moving out of it. I'm working through it. And when I tell you guys, the second we can go to Moscow, we're all going, okay? I'm taking the camera. I am taking like so many pictures. I told Mark, I was like, I'll be taking pictures of every fucking window, street lamp, you know, everything. I'm going for a month. I want to go to Moscow for at least like a week, like right off the bat, to see my sisters, obviously, maybe see my mom, extended family, obviously see where I come from, like the orphanage. I don't think it's there anymore, but I can just see all these places that I've seen online or in pictures, you know, that my parents had. But I still want to go also to like St. Petersburg. I want to go really everywhere, like everywhere that I could go in a month, I'm gonna go, and then maybe go back to Moscow at the end of my trip to see my sisters again, and then fly home from there. But I want my sisters to be able to come here for Mark and I's wedding. I want them to either be in the wedding with me or just attend. So I'm hoping that will be, you know, a thing. And it's just like, that's part of why I also share my story, because I think a lot of people just don't really understand the constant pull, especially when you're an international adoptee or even just a different race, which, like I said, I'm gonna make so many videos. It's just this constant pull. Like I'm this, I know that I'm this thing. I am Russian. Like I consider myself Russian. I don't really consider myself American, even though Mark's like, you're American. Like you grew up here, like since you were a baby, like you are an American. But it's like, am I? Like, do I really feel like that? But like, Americans hate Russia and Russia hates America. I'm like, how do I balance, you know, this? How do I openly share my pride and joy in my story by also not really like, what's the word, romanticizing or like saying that what some of the things that country does is acceptable, you know what I mean? And my whole life I've kind of struggled to balance that, and I think now I'm kind of more so having a hard time, and I think that's part of why I haven't wanted, I mean, I wanted to upload, but I just didn't even know what to say or what to do. And our Kelsey Ballerini concert got canceled. She got sick, so I didn't vlog that. That was the first vlog that you guys missed, because I was like, well, I was already having a hard week and that got canceled, and I was like, well, there's nothing to vlog then. I don't want to get on camera. And then last week was just kind of a continuation of that mental place. But moving forward, I'm very excited. It's snow. Julie and I are gonna go sled riding today, so I might vlog that and just put that in another. I'm gonna try and get 2 up for you guys this week. Maybe we'll just do like a little weekly vlog. But I just wanted to come on here really quick. This video is probably 30 minutes long anyways. And I've just been rambling. But if you have friends or family members that are adopted, like maybe just give them a little hug or just like check in with them, and just know that like they really do love you as their own family. And I think we just have like to acknowledge and respect that their journey isn't ours, if that makes sense. Like I'm talking backwards even though I'm the adoptee here, but I just want people to know that like our life is way more complex than I think that anybody realizes, and we experience and feel things and see things completely different than our family members that aren't adopted. And I think I hate to say it, but I don't know how else to say it. I think a lot of the time they don't realize it, or they just I think they maybe realize it, but they don't think it's a big deal, but actually kind of is, you know? And just like being willing to have those hard conversations with your significant other or your sibling or your cousin or whoever, you know, your friend, whoever's adopted. I think it's really important to have people around you as an adoptee, that people around you that like respect you, they honor your story, they want to understand, they want to sit down with you and cry with you or celebrate with you or whatever. And I have a couple of those really, really good girlfriends that they will be my friends till the day I die. But like I said, even then, sometimes it's hard to articulate your feelings because they don't understand. And that's why I share my story and why I crave the conversations and the relationships that I've been able to make with other adoptees by sharing my things, my videos and stuff, because nobody really understands except for fellow adoptees. And I've even had, recently had a really good conversation with a birth mom, because I shared that video the other day on Instagram. And it's just like opening the doors for us to have these conversations. Like, listen more to the adoptees, listen more to the birth moms. Like, we deal with things every single day that nobody knows we deal with. There are things that I keep inside that I don't share with my family or my friends every day. And I want to get better at that. And I don't need to like hide parts of myself. I think I do that out of fear, maybe, for myself and for them. Like, I don't want them to be burdened with it or upset them, but I also don't want to let myself down by keeping it all in, if that makes sense. So anyways, all of that to say, I love you guys. Thank you guys for showing up on my channel. And if you're on my Instagram and my TikTok as well, like, I really appreciate those of you and those people on there that really have shown up for me this last year, and that have been so excited for me to find my family, and they're still asking questions and they're excited for my journey. Because growing up, I was not met with that. Kids were so freaking mean to me. And so it feels really, really good that now I have this like community that I feel like I'm allowed to have this space. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate you guys being here, and I really look forward to this year with YouTube. And so just wanted to kind of do like a little check-in video real quick, and then we'll get back to happier, more exciting things. And I feel like I was kind of all over the place in this video too, but look for way more adoption videos. I want to maybe even do like one every other week or one a week in a vlog, or like intermix them, just to touch on a bunch of more things, because as I said, I want to have these videos up because I want to watch them back, but I also want to help other people and open those conversations. So all that to say, happy Monday. It snowed a lot here in Ohio, so I'm gonna go sled riding with Julia in a few hours, and we'll be vlogging that, I think. So look for that video. And if you want me to touch on other things, or if you guys have questions, I'd love to do a Q&A. Like, you can comment them below or message me on one of my socials. Maybe I'll do that in the next video, or like I'll split them up. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for showing up on my channel and supporting me and my journey, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.